If I lost my sense of hope, the first thing I do to get it back is to do hard work. And I know when we hear the term hard work, we think of labor, but I'm not necessarily talking about physical labor, although that could be the case for some. I'm talking about putting in the work to find the why behind why you're feeling hopeless. After much insight and pondering about hopeless or the feelings of hopelessness, I came to understand that an inability to maintain hope often leaves us feeling hopeless, and it usually stems from within. It's a heart-mind thing. They both connect, and our surroundings and our thoughts and an unwillingness to make changes only amplify the feelings of hopelessness. So I know that sounds hard or insensitive, but I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to be the bringer of bad news. I'm just giving you real truth, and the truth sets us free. So when I speak of hard work, I'm talking about being extremely honest with yourself and sitting in a quiet space and reflecting within. Introspection, like anything else, helps us find the root cause or the why behind our feelings of hopelessness. Why have you lost hope? Why do you feel hopeless? There's always a root cause to any problem. We just have to be willing to do some deep introspection in order to find the why behind the problem. And for some, this may look like jotting down all the reasons you feel hopeless. And like I said, truth is required here. And then you have to decide the following. First, is it something that you can change? So look at your surroundings, your friends, your job. You can change those things. So are you feeling hopeless because you have negative friends or you have negative acquaintances? Maybe you don't like your job. Maybe you want to obtain a higher educational level. These are all things that are in our control. We can change these things. 2, am I the cause of my feeling hopeless? Are you pessimistic? Are you a negative thinker? Do you choose to think negative rather than positive? We have to be very, very truthful here. And lastly, are you worried about things that are out of your control? When I ask this question, I often think about starvation in the world. Yes, it's good to want to cure starvation, and it is doable. But is it doable right now without planning and action? A lot of the times we worry about things that we can't necessarily change right now. We can't snap our fingers and those things be changed. Like I said, with planning and then putting action behind the planning, we can help change those things. But oftentimes we worry about things that we can't change, and that leads to feelings of hopelessness. Now, these questions to me, and I say this often, they're like stoplights because they require caution. So in other words, if you're feeling hopeless because of your surroundings, that may be a warning or a caution light, cautioning you to make necessary changes. These changes can require, you leaving people behind or places that aren't good for your well-being. It's hard because if you feel like you've had a friend group forever, but they're not good for your well-being, you may have to make the choice to leave them behind. And that's very, very heartbreaking. It's hard to do. If it's something that you can change, it may require you to do research on how to change it and then put the work behind the realization to change. Everything takes hard work because change requires mental, emotional up here and in here, spiritual and sometimes physical work. So it's not extremely easy, but it is doable with hard work, I promise. But to make the process easier, I thought we could explore some pathways to help you rediscover hope. And the first pathway is very important. It's to release the past to make way for hope. In other words, when we hold on to past disappointments, I'm guilty of this, they can block our future joy. And so while it's important to remember and to learn from our experiences, right? When we release the past, it allows us to make room for a new growth. So I like to picture myself as a garden, and I want you to do the same. When we clear away the weeds of past hurts, we make space for beautiful new flowers to bloom. And who does not like beautiful flowers? I know that I do, and I know that you do too. So in order to see those beautiful new flowers, we have to release the past in order to make way for hope, right? And pathway number 2, accept discouragement as a step to encouragement. Oh, that is so good. This is basically saying that we all face moments of discouragement. Everybody does. But the key is not to dwell in that space, but to instead acknowledge it and move forward. When we accept our low points and we open ourselves up to encouragement and growth. So when we accept that bad things happen, and yes, we had some disappointing times, when we accept those, we open ourselves up to encouragement and new growth. Those flowers have space to bloom. And I want you to remember that even small steps create significant achievements towards hope. So it doesn't have to be one big, gigantic step. Small steps lead to major changes. So remember that. And also remember that no matter what you do, there's always hope. Even when you're feeling hopeless, so even when you're in those moments of feeling hopeless, hope still exists. So there's always hope. And at the core of every challenging experience lies an opportunity for growth, because hope isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's not there one day and gone the next. It's a mindset and a choice. To hope is a mindset up here and in here. It's a choice, right? And so by releasing the past and accepting those moments of discouragement, we can create fertile ground for new growth, for new hope to flourish. I promise you, that is what it takes. When you're feeling hopeless, it takes hard work to find hope again. Like I said, hope never leaves us. We often leave it. And when we do that, we have to work hard to then welcome it into our space again. And it may not be the easiest thing, my friend, but it is very, very doable. But if you still feel that you need more insight into gaining your hope, I have listed 5 tips to finding hope in my newsletter this week. The link to that is in the description box below. So take a look at that when you get a chance. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit the notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up. Again, I'm author and healer Katie Gates, and thank you so much for being here. Until next time, bye-bye.